Thanks, Peter. Paul, if you put your financial hat on, going from what Peter was saying, and going from the presentation I had this morning, where juniors tend to be the greater explorers. 60% of discoveries are made by juniors now, compared to 40% of corporates, and that's across all different minerals. Where do you think the money's going to come from to do this very high-risk exploration?
We need like a big discovery. That's exciting. That gets everybody excited again, because investors have done, by and large, very poorly over definitely the last 5 years, probably the last 10 years. So there's kind of a sour taste, I think, in investors' mouths. They're also concerned about lab-grown diamonds. So I think as that plays out and that segment matures, I think that will kind of ease that concern. But it's tough. I mean, we've had, the last 10 years, we've had diamond prices, at least if you look longer term out, you saw my chart, prices have been relatively flat, and investors in the commodity want to be enthusiastic about the commodity, and right now they're enthusiastic about battery metals, critical metals, copper for the green build out in, say, America. So unless investors could either have an amazing asset that gets them excited about, that becomes a big win, or they get excited about the underlying commodity, it's going to, I think, be difficult to really jumpstart interest in diamond investment, say the way it was in Canada in the 1990s. But that's the reality. But I think we just have to continue to kind of keep working on the things that we know we need to do and stick with this. And this has been an extremely resilient industry for a very long time. And I think that's a testament to the people that work in this industry. It's not a coincidence, and it's throughout the supply chain. It's upstream, midstream, downstream. There's some amazing people in this industry that have kept it relevant. So, I like to say bet on the people. It might be difficult to convince investors of that at this stage, but I think we will weather the storm.
You mentioned lab-grown diamonds. If you could just maybe make a comment on, do you see that kind of market maturing, much in the same way that if you look at the precious stones of sapphire and ruby, which have had synthetics and artificial, etc., and it's long matured. Do you think we will be there with lab-grown and naturals in a decade or two's time?
Yeah, I'm pretty confident that most lab-grown diamonds will be considered, semi-precious at best. Selling at price points in the hundreds of dollars, sold on marketplaces like Amazon in the U.S. and Alibaba in China. It doesn't mean there aren't going to be some companies that can maybe build out a brand and get a premium price for it. But by and large, I don't think the lab diamond industry is disciplined enough to really do what they need to do to maintain pricing power. I think that's going to be extremely difficult to do. They seem to be very opportunistic. We've already seen that production just exploding, prices are crashing. We're only a good 5 years into this. So I guess that's kind of my thoughts on that at this point.